righty. So I've been playing around with my green screen and my background that I have, and just trying to adjust this a little bit. I don't know, maybe my green screen's not big enough, but the reason why I put this tropical background behind me was to remind you what the whole reason for being in business is. And I talk to business owners every day, people who are interested in taking my cleaning business fundamentals course. And so oftentimes I think people either forget why they went into business for themselves, or they just don't want to admit out loud why they're in business. And I think we all need to be reminded from time to time, why are you in business? Why do you own your own business? Is it just to give other people a job? Is it to make customers happy? Is it to provide a quality service for other people? Those are some of the answers I get when I ask, what do you want out of your business? What do you want out of your business? Well, I want happy employees who really love their job, and I want to provide great jobs for good people, and I want to provide amazing service for my customers. And those are the answers I usually get. I rarely get answers like, I'd like to be able to pick up and go on vacation anytime I want, hence the background. I don't hear people saying things like, I want to make $100,000 a year and not doing the cleaning myself. People aren't very specific oftentimes. I don't think they've been specific with themselves. It's not that they're not specific with me. They haven't defined for themselves what they want. You're not going to get something that you haven't defined what it is. It's kind of like you're not going to hit a target if you don't know what the target is, if you don't know where the target is. And so, hence the background. What do you want out of your business? Why are you in business instead of working for somebody else? Make sure you've defined that for yourself. Hey, Ginger, thanks. Let me say hello to a couple more people. Carrie just joined us. Hello, Noriko. Ginger, hello. Claire, great to see you. Michelle. I think I said hello to everybody so far that's just joined us, but we're talking about the question, why are you in business? You're probably not in business to help other people have a better life. It's nice as a byproduct of your business when your business is so successful that you can help other people have a better life. That's probably not why you're in business. And you have to know why you're in business. You need to know and define what you want so that you can go after that. Do you want more freedom, maybe less wealth? Do you want more wealth and you don't care if you have as much freedom and quality time right now because you want to build something really great and really big? Do you want to make $100,000 a year? Do you want to make $200,000 a year? Do you want to make $50,000 a year and not work a 70-hour work week? You have to define what you want or you're not going to get it. And so many people have defined what they want as really the steps to get what you really want. So they'll define, well, I want lots of happy employees. Well, that's not really what you want. That's the process to get what you want. You have to have lots of happy employees in order to get what you want. So what do you really want? Do you want freedom? Do you want quality of life? Do you want wealth? Do you want financial security? What do you want? And until you define it, you're not likely to get it, because we don't generally guess our way to extreme success. Anybody can guess their way to failure. Anybody can, some people, many people, and most people can guess their way to mediocre or average. Almost anybody can guess their way to average. But until you really sit down and define what you want, do you want a bigger paycheck or more freedom? because you probably won't have both in the beginning when you're building a business. In fact, you won't. When you're in the building phase of your business, trying to get it to the income level you want to be at, you're going to work your head off. I mean, I was the hardest working person I knew in the early days of building my business. The hardest working person. I may be an absentee owner, but I didn't start there. If I tried to start there, I would have no business. I wouldn't have a successful business. I was the one up in my office when it was here in my home. I was the one in my office at 6 a.m. And, you know, after the kids went to bed, I would be back in my office till midnight or 2 a.m. quite often. And then when my business expanded and got bigger and we moved out of my home office, I was the one up there on Saturdays and Sundays, messing with schedules, dealing with an employee who quit with no notice on Friday, juggling the customers, trying to figure out where I'm going to put everybody because this person left with no notice. So, you know, you're going to have to pick in the building phases of your business while you're building your business to reach the size that you need it to be so that you can have the income you need. You're going to work harder than anybody you know in order to succeed. But you still have to define, am I more focused on creating a business around freedom and quality of life? Am I more focused around building the revenues and the sales and the profits? And what do I want either way? Do I want to work 20 hours a week instead of 40? Do I want to earn $150,000 a year instead of 30? You know, what do I want? Get specific. The other things that we say we want are really just the steps to getting what we want. So do you want to be able to take a tropical vacation every year or twice a year? And do you want to be able to take a vacation, lay on the beach, enjoy the sun, and not spend half your vacation answering your phone and dealing with complaints and managing the staff from afar and managing the chaos from out of town and answering emails and figuring payroll and all that stuff? Do you want a business that you can step away from when you do take a vacation and you don't have to work? You don't have to put fires out and deal with chaos and problems. If that's what you want, then you have to put the steps in motion to create that kind of business. It will not happen by accident. It will not happen by chance. Almost nobody guesses their way to that level of success, that level of business. And almost nobody, and I'm going to dare to say nobody, is successful alone. I've had business coaches most of my business career. I've taken training. I've read tons of books. I've allowed other people to teach me how to get to where my business is today. The most successful business people in the world have generally said they had help. They took training. They had a mentor. They had a coach. People that knew far more than they helped them get to where they are today. So don't try to go it alone. Most people never will reach their goals and their dreams if they're going it alone. So if you want to be able to take a vacation, whether it's tropical or some people would rather go snow skiing in the mountains, whatever, if you want to be able to enjoy the business that you created and to ultimately create a business with freedom. Many people read the 4-Hour Work Week. I'll have to do a book review on that. I read that years ago, the 4-Hour Work Week. And a lot of times they think they can start a business and create a 4-hour work week right away. That's not going to happen. In fact, that's almost a guarantee that you're never going to have a business as successful as you had hoped. If you start out with the mindset, I'd like to work as little as possible. No, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and give it 110% and work harder than anybody you know to get it to the point where it's exactly where you want it. Now I have a 4-hour work week with my cleaning company. I probably don't even put in 4 hours. By the time I answer some emails and manage the marketing campaigns through my marketing coordinator, and I meet with my office manager at least 2 or 3 times a month for an hour, and I hold our big team quarterly staff meetings. Okay, I probably, if it's all said and done, I might put in 4 hours on average a week over the course of a year. Probably not quite that much. But that didn't happen overnight. And it only happened because I defined what I wanted. When I reached a certain level of income from my business, that's owner's profit and income, and I was satisfied with that level of business, then I knew I didn't need to work that hard anymore because I wasn't trying to grow it. I wasn't pushing hard to double it and triple it like I was in the early days. And that's when I was able to define the freedom that I wanted for my business. It's not for everybody, but that's when I was able to say, okay, well, now what do I want? I've got the income I want. Now what do I want? And that's when I began, this has been years ago, more than 10 years ago, I began easing away from my business. Basically fired myself, started taking Mondays and Fridays off. And then eventually it was, well, I only come in Tuesday and Wednesday. And eventually it was, I'll come in Tuesday for an hour. But until I defined it and decided that's what I wanted, that wasn't going to happen. So let me give you a pitch on our upcoming speed cleaning for the pros, because that is a tool to help you get what you might want: freedom, quality of life, and the ability to scale your business to reach income levels that weren't possible before. And the tool, Speed Cleaning for the Pros, is a fantastic way. There's nothing like it in our industry. It is a fantastic way to learn how to systemize your training program. Because if you can systemize your training program, you don't have to be around when a new trainee starts. You don't have to personally train the trainer. I'm sorry, the trainee. You don't have to be the one out there, oh, I got to go clean this week. We have a new person starting. So the Speed Cleaning for the Pros is a way to systemize your training in your business and to get your training to a level in your business that's very scalable and repeatable. Because that's the thing. If you can't scale and repeat, then you're always going to have to be involved, because everything is slightly customized. Everything is a bit complicated, and it does require you, the owner, to be directly involved in that process, whether it's training, whether it's cleaning, whether it's sales. Everything you can systemize in your business builds on top of the foundation of freedom later. So systemizing your business is so important if you ever want freedom. You can kind of wing it and not have as many systems in place, as long as you're the one there every single day, keeping all the plates spinning and putting out all the fires that are creating, because there isn't a system and a process to follow. But Speed Cleaning for the Pros is truly a system for cleaning and a system for training. It's not just about speeding up your staff and improving quality. That's not all that it's about. It is about systemizing the whole process of cleaning and standardizing the cleaning so that employees, whether they've been with you 2 years or 2 months, can deliver a predictable standard cleaning, a cleaning that you've approved of, a standard of cleaning that you've approved of, that you have promised your customers. And so it shouldn't matter if she's been with you 2 months or 2 years. If everything is standardized and you have a system for training, you can create a scalable, predictable business. And training can succeed if you're on a beach in Cancun somewhere for a week on vacation. It can succeed even if you're not there. You can still have people lined up to start their new job while you're out of town if it's systemized. So let me tell you when the next Speed Cleaning for the Pros is coming up. You can't register yet, but I want you guys to save the date, and I want you to have this on your radar, because when I roll out registration, the first 25 people that register will get $100 worth of DVD and books. So make sure you're one of the first 25 to register, so you'll get those for free when you attend the event. If you no-show, you don't get those. But the first 25 people to register. Registration should be open Sunday or Monday, and I'll send out an email and I'll post links here on Facebook. But it will be in Atlanta, Georgia, June 29th and 30th. And so that's all day Friday, all day Saturday. And here's how I set up Speed Cleaning for the Pros. This is for owners, high-level managers, and trainers, the people who are actually out in the field doing the cleaning and doing the training of the new staff. Day one, Friday, is really high-level strategies for the business owner or a high-level manager, and it's not for trainers in the field Friday. So have them hang out in the hotel room, you know, just doing fun stuff, maybe hanging by the pool if they have one. But if you're bringing a training supervisor, Friday isn't for them, but of course they'll probably just come with you. Saturday is for your training supervisor. For the owner, you want to be there both days, Friday and Saturday. So make sure you're there for Friday and Saturday. Your training supervisors just need to attend Saturday. Friday is insider trade secrets for the owner. It's things that you probably don't necessarily want your training supervisor to hear. It isn't that it's super, super sensitive, but I do think it's a little bit sensitive information. And I also share information so that you can use your own discretion as to how you want to structure some things, particularly your trainer's pay. So it's always a good idea that the trainers aren't in the room while I'm sharing my concepts and opinions, and then you can take them and tweak them and make them your own, however you see fit. So Friday is really a good, strong, intense day for owners, training owners and high-level managers like the office manager or the business partner. And Friday and Saturday is this boots on the ground training boot camp. I literally teach on Saturday as if everyone in the room is the cleaner in the field who will be the training supervisor. That's how I speak. So what you learn is as if you were the trainer. So of course, if you're the owner and you're still the one going out and training, it's perfect, but you can bring any of your training supervisors, anybody who will handle the training in your company, or somebody that you've identified that you believe would make a great trainer. Here's some benefits of coming. First of all, one of the things that I've heard over the years from people who have taken Speed Cleaning for the Pros and gone back and implemented is, number one, it's easy to implement and you can implement quickly. It doesn't take a year to get this implemented. You go back and you implement like within the first month of coming back from the conference. It's very simple, and I give you the strategic steps to implement and how to implement successfully, because it's always hard to teach your staff a new skill without getting a lot of pushback and resistance, right? That's always difficult. I will teach you the strategies for implementing successfully, how to get buy-in from your staff instead of resistance from your staff. So you'll learn that at the conference. Some of the other benefits are, people have told me that when they implemented speed cleaning and their employees fully embraced it, that within 30 days, they were already saving thousands of dollars on payroll. Now, obviously, if you only have one employee, you may not see the same volume of results in such a short period of time. But people who have quite a few employees, you know, 10, 15, 20 employees, they can see immediate return in their bank, on their bottom line from the results of speed cleaning being implemented effectively in your company. And if you've ever tried to implement a new training strategy in your business and it just fell flat, it didn't go anywhere, it's because you didn't have the right approach. And I will teach you an A to Z approach to improving the training, raising the quality of your company, and increasing the consistency of the work that you deliver, that your staff delivers. This is so critical to your bottom line, to your profitability, to customer retention. And it's critical to employee retention. How many employees have we lost because we didn't have a good training program? We weren't organized. We either had to cut them loose because they just weren't getting it, or they quit because they didn't feel like they could do this. They didn't understand what the requirements of them were. What's the standard they're supposed to live up to? So how many problems do we have with employees because our training is ineffective, and they get discouraged and they think that, you know, this company is not worth working for. So it's really important to your employees. Of course, it's important to your customers, because a well-trained employee will deliver a more consistent, predictable, higher quality service than you're hoping that the person you hired has somehow got some cleaning talent that they were born with, and they can deliver that consistent, high quality cleaning standard. So Speed Cleaning for the Pros, Atlanta, Georgia, June 29th and 30th. Save the date. When I open registration, be one of the first 25 to register to get over $100 in bonus products that will be there for you when you register. So the first 25 will get the goodies. Look for my email probably Sunday or Monday at the latest. If you're not on my email list, head over to debbiesardone.com. debbiesardone.com, and just fill out the little email button right there on the home page. I think you have to scroll down a little bit, but fill out the email button. You will be listed in our email campaigns, and you'll find out right away when registration starts. And I'll also jump on maybe an hour before I open registration and let you guys know exactly what time registration is open, so you can be the first to register and get your $100 worth of bonus products. All right, guys, do you guys have any questions? I've been trying to monitor the feedback here. Hey, Ron, how are you? Okay, Ron says, how much should a company's yearly revenue be before assigning these tasks where the owner doesn't have to be involved in the day-to-day operations? Ron, here's what I would say: that it's not about revenue, it's about income. There's a lot of cleaning companies out there bringing in $1 million and the owner is not paid well. So it's not about revenue, it's about income. So the real question is, at what income level do you want to be at? And you don't pull away from your business until you're there. To me, that's the real question. It isn't how much revenue should we be generating. There's businesses generating $600,000 a year. The owner is barely making 50. There's businesses out there generating $800,000-$900,000 a year. The owner is barely making 60 or 70. So define how much income you want to be making from your business. And when you're making that, then you don't have to work so hard to build it, because you're not in building phase anymore. You need to be in maintenance mode. Like my business is sort of in maintenance mode, although we did push hard last year to grow. But for about 10 years, we've been in maintenance mode. And I got to a certain income level, and I just told my office manager, gave her a raise, put her in charge, and I coach her. And I said, just don't let it shrink, because I don't want my paycheck to shrink. And, if you have the right staff in there and you've created enough processes and systems and tools of measurement for you, the owner, to know what's going on, you can do it. But you don't pull back. You don't ease off the gas until your business, your financial goals for your business are exactly where you want them to be. Mac James, thank you. Good to see you. Kay says, hey, Debbie, what have you ever heard of? Have you ever heard of Believe.com? It's a software for engaging with your live audience. I think you could benefit from it. Well, I'll look that up. Believe.com. I'll look it up. Thank you. Thank you, Kay. I think it is, Be Live, not Believe. I can't see. BeLive.com. I'll look it up. All right, Heather says, so glad it's closer to us that you can attend. Oh, I'm so glad too, Heather. I'm very excited about that. What month? June 29th and 30th. So Ron, I hope that helps. And Carrie says, employee needs a clear job description as well. Yeah, employees need to know what's expected of them. And that's not the same as having this written document that says, here is a written job description. We do this, we do this. That's fine, that's good. It's really good for accountability. But they need a roadmap themselves, just like business owners need a roadmap to succeed. Employees need a roadmap and the steps to follow in order to succeed at their cleaning job. It's not just good enough that they know what to clean. Clean this, clean that, clean this, clean that, don't clean this. That's not good enough. What's important is, I can't get that straight. What's important is that they have a system and a process to know what to clean and how to clean it the right way. It's one thing to know we clean the mirror. It's another thing to know the proper way to clean the mirror. What are the steps to clean a mirror so that it is streak free? And so it's more than just a job description. It's a system to follow in order to succeed at this job. And the tools, what are the best tools to make the most money, deliver the highest quality cleaning in the most consistent fashion? What are the tools? Because when you can find what those tools are and use them, you can build a scalable, repeatable business that doesn't require the owner to be there micromanaging everything. Let's see here. What about, still trying to get this better. Okay. There was another question I saw that came through, and that was from Victoria, like an office manager or a field manager. I think I might have missed another question. I'll look for it. Stephanie says, I am going on vacation November 8th. My goal is to have someone trained to do my day-to-day when I'm gone. I'm so scared. Thankfully, I have CBF to help me. Stephanie, that is really exciting. So here's what I would like for you to do, Stephanie, since you're going on vacation in November, you don't want to have to check in. You do not want your first trial run to be in November. That's a recipe for ruining your vacation. So you need to make sure whoever you are going to have in place helping you with the operations in November, they should already be working for you now. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 days a week or however you set that up, but they should be working for you now. And you need to begin to probably at least 1 day a week, let that person handle everything without your help. When you feel they're trained, obviously not until they're trained. You could start out by saying, okay, you already know how to do this. You already know how to do that. You already know how to do these 3 important things, answer the phones and deal with problems, deal with employees, deal with scheduling, deal with, customer payment processing. So whatever the critical things that cannot wait till you get back and she's fully trained, then let her do them while you're there with your door open and tell her to only come and ask you if she clearly doesn't know what to do. Let her do them. Don't look over her shoulder. Don't micromanage. And when she's done, look at how she did. Was she accurate? Did she handle the phone calls the way you taught her? Whatever. And just listen and review. Don't micromanage. If she kind of has a few missteps, don't jump in and rescue her. Don't jump in and tell her how she should have done it. But begin that process now. Don't wait till November. When you feel like she's doing good and she doesn't really need much oversight or supervision, then the next step is, I won't be in on Friday at all. Don't call me unless something's on fire. And you let her handle it on a day you take off, and you have your phone on, but you make it absolutely crystal clear. Only call me if you absolutely do not know what to do and it's important and it can't wait. And see how she does. See how she makes discretionary decisions and judgment calls. And you just take off that 1 day. And so then maybe the next week you take off on a Monday and you begin to let her do things that she'll be responsible for doing all week while you're on vacation, and see how she does. See how many interruptions you have to take. See how many times she cannot make a decision, or that she handles something so poorly it blows up in your face, because you don't want 5 days of that in November. So I would start gradual now, and that'll give you more peace of mind when you take your vacation in November. And November will be here before you know it, so don't procrastinate, really getting her groomed to take on a higher level of responsibility. Claire says, wealth and financial freedom for my daughter and I. She's only 5. Claire, that's great. That's what most people want, financial freedom. They want wealth so they can do the things they want. But for yourself, not here in the chat box, but for yourself, you need to write down what that looks like. For some people, it's, you know, $250,000 a year. For other people, that's $100,000 a year. For other people, it's $60,000 a year. So you've got to write down and define what that looks like to you. What does financial freedom look like to you? And what does personal freedom look like to you? That you can take off every Friday and never come in, you know, or that you can work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and that's it. Turn out the lights, turn off the computer, shut off the phone, and you're done. You know, define it and get really specific, because it's the only way it's going to happen. Noriko, this is my retirement plan. I want quality of life, quality of life. And it starts today by building on what you want later. It starts today. All right, guys, good feedback, good questions. If there aren't any more questions, for some reason they're feeding at the top. Okay, so Ashley says, I now have my Mondays and Wednesdays each week. Yay, that's awesome. That's fantastic. And Stephanie says, I have the person I want. Okay, I will start training now. Great idea. Yeah, groom them now. No surprises in November. Ashley says, top to bottom, left to right, I've hired and fired. I've had numerous crews and I've done it all on my own. Deadlines are deadlines, but a system is key, and someone isn't going to listen or learn your system. They'll never learn. Yeah. So I'm going to challenge your thinking, Ashley, that you've done it all on your own. And my guess is, how much further along would you be now if you weren't trying to guess and do it all alone? If you have people helping you in your life, mentoring you, people who are more successful than you are, who are where you hope to be, find those people or that person who is where you want your business to be and get them to teach you how to get there, because none of us achieve great success all by ourselves. Everyone has been helped or mentored in some way. And so think in terms of, man, how much further along could I be if I had some help? I guarantee you there's people in your own community, very successful business people that would love to mentor you and help you, but always, always be seeking help and advanced training from people who are further along in their business than you are. All righty, Michelle from Minnesota, good to see you. Carrie says exactly. Good answers, thank you. Hopefully you'll see you in Atlanta. Oh yeah, Ron, hopefully you'll come to Atlanta. Trust me, you won't regret it. And bring some of your staff. Bring some of your staff. They'll love it. So BeLive.com, I'll have to look that up. All right, guys, it pushed me further. Don't want to train my girls to be as good as me. I want them better. Well, I don't, you know, better is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Better is subjective. That is not a standard that you can teach or train or expect. I mean, it's an ideal, but it's not a business standard. And so what you want is to first define a standard in your business that can be taught, that can be trained, and can be duplicated. And only promise that standard to your customers so that you're not selling something you can't deliver. And then once you create that standard and that's what you sell is the standard you've created, then you need a system to deliver on your promises. You need a system to deliver on your promises. It's too vague, it's too subjective to expect other people to be better than you. They just want to succeed. They just want to succeed at their job. And so without a very clearly well-defined standard and a system of training and tools that help me succeed as the new cleaner, frustration sets in, discouragement sets in, And sometimes people, well, most of the time people just wing it, and you sort of get what you get, and you never know what it's going to be. So I would encourage you to create a standard that's clearly defined for your staff, and expect them to reach that standard. And they will be happier and they will feel successful when they do. Lola says, hi, Debbie. Last week, I had 3 people left, 1 driver. So I'm back again working 1 week. I feel like I can't get out of the field. You got to get out of the field. You have to get out of the field, because the more you're in the field, the harder it is to grow your business. So you need to focus more time and energy on marketing your business and then hiring and training your staff. Obviously, that's for another topic, which we can cover in our CBF mastermind groups. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you. Hope you enjoyed the tropical backdrop. I'm going to be having a nice little vacation in Hilton Head in July, and I can't wait to be on the beach with my family. And so I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you will mark your calendar June 29th and 30th and join us in Atlanta, Georgia, Speed Cleaning for the Pros. I promise you, you won't regret it. It will be worth every penny. And we have secured the best deal on the planet for the hotel. $106 a night for a really nice Marriott right there at the airport. So you don't even have to get a cab or rent a car. And there's plenty of restaurants where you can Uber at night if you want to go, do some fun stuff. So June 29th and the 30th.